Synergy. Welcome to Synergy. Live with Synergy. Live with Synergy. This is your host, Andrea John Baptiste. Welcome to Synergy, where music, business, and culture synchronize.
Greetings, and welcome to Synergy, where music, business, and culture synchronize. We know that we are your favorite drive time talk show here on 99.1 FM, and we are very excited to be simulcasted right now on islandworldwide.com, including Glue FM as well. And so it's a very exciting day, very exciting time. We are in the month of February, which is a big month all around the world. It is the biggest month of the 12 months, in my opinion, because it's the month that, it's the biggest month of Black History Month. What? What'd you say, young lady? Are you crazy? It's the biggest month of Black History Month. Why? Because Black History Month is year-round. So February is when we decide we want to highlight it and we want to feature it. Okay, so it's the biggest month of Black History Month because Black history is 365 days a year. Let me tell you, don't get me on my soapbox, synchronizers, but it is Black History Month. It's Reggae Month. We've celebrated Dee Brown's, Dennis Brown, the Crown Prince of Reggae. We celebrated her birthday. We're celebrating Bob Marley's birthday. We're celebrating the Jamaica Music Conference. We're celebrating the launch of the Association of Rastafari Creatives. What? Too many amazing things happening in this music, business, and culture space. And I am so all for it, all about it. And today, of course, as I usually say, we have a fantastic show for you. Today, we're talking with some industry professionals, some folks that know a thing or two or 10 or 20. And they are here to share that with us, and so that we can all be edified and, we learn a thing or two or 10 or 20. It is always a pleasure for me to be in the space of these two individuals. Why? Because not only are they bright, but they're warm and they're friendly and they're knowledgeable, and the vibes just airy, right? But before I tell you who the first one is, and I know you're waiting, ladies, stop the talking and get to the guest, but gratitude is a must. So just to have a big up to our friends and our partners over at Island Worldwide, where they're bringing to you online every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the power of music. To our friends down here in North Florida, at Glue FM, Mark and Lisa Blaze, big up yourself. Captain Colonel PK, all the way in the BVI, you are always tuned in, and I give thanks for all your love and your support. Big up yourself, bless up yourself. Lincoln Chain, we give thanks. John Baptiste household, blessings, upon blessings, upon blessings, upon blessings. And of course, our team, Jeff Sahai, we thank you so much for always making us sound good. And last but definitely not least, my Don Dada, or my Don Daddy. Don, bless up yourself, and always thank you for all the information and all the support. And so with that, it is with great enthusiasm and extreme excitement that I introduce you today to Miss Francine Bacchus of Bacchus Entertainment. Francine, welcome to Synergy, and we thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Greetings, Andrea. It's an honor to be on your show. I've been a fan for a while, so give thanks.
Thank you. Synchronizers, I have fans. Like, who knew? I have fans. Thank you. But I get, it is mutual, because Francine manages one of my new favorite emergent artists, Jadon. And so we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute, but you guys have heard him here twice, and Francine has been the conduit to making it happen. So she's gonna tell us that the girl do some big things. So Francine, talk to us. What is Bacchus Entertainment, and how did that get started?
Okay. Bacchus Entertainment is a Jamaican-based ancillary entertainment firm that provides an engine for independent artists to mobilize in the music business. The idea came into conception in 2012, right before I decided to attend law school, which I only did briefly, I didn't finish. But throughout that experience, I had the opportunity to understand entertainment business from a legal standpoint, taking classes like contracts, trademarks, copyrights. And living in Los Angeles, I also got to observe a rich artistic environment and this idea of the starving artist. And as we usually see, talent is overly abundant. However, the power for careers to propel is usually in the hands of few. So you have artists who are passionate and determined to break out, that are willing to compromise their intellectual property rights for opportunities and resources. So I asked myself, what would it look like if the power was placed in the artist's hands from day one? You know, what would it look like if they had autonomy over their creative future? So I spent about 5 years before launching my company, personally developing myself as a professional to take on that endeavor. So that's where Bacchus Entertainment came from.
Wow, that is such a rich background. And it sounds like a very wise and awakening personal process and journey for you as well.
It has been.
Because hearing you say, you know, you took about 5 years after having that exposure and contemplating how to get it done, how to get it started. I mean, most people don't do that. They get an idea and, all right, yeah, I'm an artist manager, I'm a this, I'm a that, and they run with it. And I'm believing that perhaps that 5-year process may be some of the keys to what I see as a very successful venture and business. What are some of the things you did in those 5 years to prepare yourself, as you said?
Okay, well, before law school, I shadowed an entertainment attorney. So I kind of had an idea of the scope of the work, which is so much. So I was like, okay, I have to have a skill set. I can't just be a manager, you know, making phone calls. What can I bring to the table? So I feel like legal representation and being able to navigate that legal world was so important. So definitely understanding contracts, copyrights, just whatever it takes to protect yourself. Because music business can be very treacherous, and that's what I was trying to avoid, the pitfalls. Mm-hmm. So that was the objective, to develop myself first.
Wow. That's wise. So what are the services that are available under the Bacchus Entertainment umbrella?
Okay, so primarily we deal with intellectual property management and branding and visuals, and that's broken up into 5 key areas. First one is artist representation, where we create a blueprint to launch an artist's career. Then we focus on branding and promotions, which is the packaging and the promotions of the works in the proper channels. There's visual productions, which is organizing the creative projects to support the campaigns, team building, and artist services such as biographies, press kits, logos, whatever is needed to support the artists to accomplish their goals. We're there for that.
Wow. By the way, synchronizers, I just remembered, you know, she went to camp. So what does that mean for those of you who didn't grow up in America? Don't worry about it. What does that mean for those of you who grew up in Jamaica? You don't know. Okay. I just had to go there because guess what? Both guests today are Campionites, and so is this host. So it's always a good thing when we can come together and soar. So artist representation, branding and promotion, visual productions, team building, artist services such as bios and those types of things are all of some of the things that are available to artists under the Bacchus Entertainment umbrella. Now, you mentioned when we first started, you talked about this was for indie artists. So when they join with you, they're not signing on to a label. No. So they are just...
It's not traditional.
Right. So talk to us a little bit about that, how it's a little bit different from the traditional management process.
Okay, well, I've had the honor of working with Jadon, as you mentioned earlier, for the past 4 years. And with Jadon, he has his personal music label, Looking Out Entertainment. And what I do as a company is provide the business function that he needs so that he can focus on his creative works. So I help him navigate, you know, with the bookings, the interviews, distribution, whatever his label needs. Because most artists don't really they need help with the business side.
Yes,
So
they want to create.
yes. So I'm there to assist him because he's very involved in his career. It's not like he's giving me all the work. He actually gives me the vision and I execute. So that's where we work together.
That's beautiful. So you allow them to continue to create, and really you provide that level of support, the back end kind of
Yes.
support, the back office is what I'm hearing.
Administrative, whatever is needed to develop his label.
I think that's fantastic. So, some people may say that management branding, especially in this day of, we have everything, right? We have videos and video editors on our phone, and templates that you can buy for nothing or free and so on. And folks might say, do you really have to pay somebody or work with a team? You can't just do it yourself? Or what do you say to that?
Okay, well, they are right, because an artist can manage and brand themselves. However, the case is that the artist is not usually well versed in these areas, the language of business, contracts. And sometimes when they take on too much, it can have detrimental consequences in the long run. So I have some great mentors like Lloyd Stanberry. He's an attorney. He has a great book, Reggae Roadblocks, which is one of my personal Bibles. I go back to it and refer to it often. Sister Irie, she's a photojournalist. She's taught me a lot about the language of music. David Muir, he's a former music manager. Delroy Thompson. I have some great mentors that show me that with music, it's a level of professionalism that's going to set you apart. So the casual posting on social media and just putting out music, that's not going to set you apart and launch your career to where you want to be. So it's a choice. It's the difference between a hobby or a professional thing.
I like that. Professionalize the thing. And you guys, I told you that there was a wealth of information. So listen to the mentors. If you don't know several of them, but I know all of them. And those are powerhouses behind you, sister girl. That's an amazing, amazing thing.
I'm so blessed to have them in my life.
Yes, I second that, because I know them well and I work with them in many capacities, and I am blessed to have that opportunity. So beautiful, beautiful, good stuff. So, let's talk a little bit about gender. Because we know the music business, one of the things that I think it might have been Lloyd Stanberry who shared this with me, that there's so many women behind the scenes in the music industry across the globe, not just in Jamaica, not just here, but the industry is often propelled and maintained on the shoulders of women, but a lot of times we don't see them. So talk to me, do you think this area is different for women? What has been your experiences so far, in terms of the gender?
You are so right. I never really considered that women actually are the driving force. Usually they are the managers. They work in so many different areas, especially disc jockeys and all that. With women, though, it's kind of hard to break out into leadership roles. It's that part of it is more male dominated. And you'll find, especially as a young woman, you might come across a lot of misogyny and, predatory behavior. Certain gatekeepers may want certain things for you to access certain knowledge or resources. So what I would advise any woman, though, is to sharpen themselves professionally and not so much use their beauty and charm, because entertainment is all about the lure and attraction. So to really just sharpen themselves and be independent in their work, seek mentors, but be willing to work, not wait for handouts or anyone to give you anything, to really put in the work to be just as great as these men that are on top.
Good stuff. Yeah, excellent thoughts, because you know what, I was reasoning with one of my youths earlier today. Beauty is fleeting. We all get older, we all start to sag, we all get wrinkles, we all get all of that. So you better have something up here and not just down there. I said that, not the guest, y'all. I said that. Yeah, no, no, no. I said that. I'm owning that statement here on Synergy today, not Francine. But Francine, you've had some major successes. What has been your greatest success so far in doing this work?
I think every day I wake up is a success. Everything I do, I look at every small milestone as a success. Jadon's first project, Congo Bongo EP, was his breakthrough project. But if I was pinpoint something, it would be between December 2019 and March 2020. And that's when he first did a 6-parish tour with Mela FM, and he was able to go to the major parishes and really interact with the people on the island. And this was pre-COVID, so I don't think we'll ever really have an opportunity like that to engage like that for a while. And then in Reggae Month, he launched his debut album 369. He did multiple performances on Reggae Month. He was on a show with Toots. He was on a show with Luciana the same day that the Jamaica Gleaner called him reggae music's next messenger. And Luciana is the messenger. So the synchronicity of his career and how everything is checking off was just so amazing. So 369 for me was the first big girl project that I've done. And it has reaped so much, and it's still continuing to gain momentum.
Mm-hmm. That's a beautiful thing, because the work is good, as you all know, because y'all heard it here before and you will hear it here again, because Jadon always has an open door for us because his music is so good. That's a good story, Francine. And so on the flip side of that, sounds like you've had some nice successes. I love that positive view. What's been the biggest challenge so far?
Okay, so December 2019 to March 2020, I had a high. And right in the middle of March, there was this global shutdown, and we traveled to South Florida to promote. And right as everything was about to take off, we literally had to reinvent our campaign. There was no radio stations, there was no platforms to go perform on. And Jadon created this broom campaign. And out of the broom campaign, which is handmade Jamaican brooms that he made for his fans all over the world, sweep up Corona, keep everything clean. He was able to do
sweep out the crosses.
It's so symbolic. It was a very profound campaign.
Mm-hmm.
During the pandemic, he was able to do 19 interviews worldwide. However he had to do it, Zoom, phone calls. He did 19 interviews. He launched the merchandise line. He worked on a lot of great music, which is being released right now, like Here We Go, which is playing all over the world. Mm-hmm. Other great music that's coming. So it was challenging, but it really tested to see what we were made of. And I give thanks for all of it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Good lessons to have learned, and in a kind of a safe-ish kind of space, So going forward, now we're still in the throes of COVID. I believe there is maybe some light at the end of the tunnel when tours and things may start back. We don't know. But what's the plan? How are you continuing to navigate and do the work of Bacchus Entertainment under these restrictions?
Okay, well, as we know, COVID has literally slashed 50% of most artists' revenue, which is touring and the opportunity to promote. But we've learned to be innovative. We're in a digital age where most radio stations, you can do a Zoom interview like yours, you can do a call-in interview. We try to maximize on the power of the digital world to continue doing the work. COVID has taught me to not allow the external factors to hinder the vision, not to let any negativity come in. And I really believe that's what's going to stand the test of time. Allow all the projects that I'm working on to stay relevant as we go.
Okay, excellent. So you are shifting primarily to that virtual model, like the rest of the
You have to be flexible in music. It's an ever-changing model. Every day it changes.
Every day it changes. Absolutely. So, we have artists that may be looking for some representation, branding and promotion, visual productions, services and so on. What are some things for them to consider if they're looking to work with an agency like yours or to work with you? And what are some of the things that would make you say, yay, yeah, man, I want to work with you and represent your platform, your work versus, nah, I'm not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole.
All right. Well, just like, Jadon, I would say, was my pilot project. He has his own label and, we liaison and work together. A great match would be an independent artist with strong vision who's self-motivated. I'm not the traditional manager. I'm here to execute professional goals. And most artists are looking for someone who has all these links that will put them in the fast lane. However, the truth is music business is a marathon. And if you don't have unwavering, I can't even find a word, if you're not relentless and have stamina and know exactly what you want, you really aren't going to get far. So I look for long-term relationships.
Pause, pull up and say it again, because this is such a huge, powerful, I told y'all synchronizers, powerful statement. Music is what? It's not a sprint, it's a
marathon. Jadon would say it's like hooks in a coconut. You hit it the first time, it's not gonna crack. You just have to keep going, and you can't stop. Not one day you can drop the ball, because it's so many people trying to get to where you're going. So you just have to know what you want and not look for someone to create a vision for you, because that's how people get robbed. And, they get in these shady deals because they allow someone to be in the driver's seat for them. So a self-motivated artist is the ideal artist to work with.
Wow, that is so poignant, and I'm so happy you decided to drop those words of wisdom on us today, Francine, because one of the things we hear a lot is home for bus. How I go and bus? When I go and bus me now. I just need a bus. And I'm thinking, you know what? The 31 runs out on the corner of whatever, because that's the only bus I can see in the immediate for you, because it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And, there's a saying that goes something like every overnight success only took 20 years. And I think that is so appropriate in the music industry, because you see someone coming out and they bus, but it was 20 years of work, of campaign, of laying the foundation. So if you are are you accepting new clients, Francine?
Boy, because it takes so much, it has to be the right person. It takes so much personal investment of my time. Like Lloyd Stenberry will say, it's like being in a marriage. Working with artists and developing a career is a round the clock job. So the right artist, but it's more about quality than quantity. So with time, I do provide services on a case-by-case basis, but just to bring on anyone or to develop another music label, it would definitely have to be the right artist.
So right artist, if you are tuned in right now, whether it's on 99.1 FM or islandworldwide.com or Glue FM, if you're the right artist, self-motivated, creating your own vision, respect for the work, respect for women, I'm just speaking for you, then please link up with Francine Bacchus of Bacchus Entertainment. But if you're not, don't bother. Just keeping it plain. I said that, not her.
Yes.
So Francine, what's next from Bacchus Entertainment, and how can folks stay in contact with you?
Okay, well, I look forward to working with Jadon's brand. Like we say, it's a marathon and we have so many more goals to accomplish. Here we go, just dropped in November. He's about to drop a new song in Reggae Month. So I'm looking forward to continuously develop Jadon to become that, to have a global presence. That's our overall goal. Recently, I launched an internship program because I feel like in Jamaica, we don't have enough resources for young people who want to learn about the music industry. I didn't know where to start. So I have an internship program where we're working with recent high school graduates and college students who are interested in learning about music business. So that's very exciting for me to create opportunities for others and to just continue structuring my company at the highest level. Because as reggae music, we have an influx of talent, but we need to have a stronger global presence professionally. So that's really what's next. Just continue with Jadon, more great works, and to continue growing the brand.
Wow, good stuff. And I love the fact of the internship program. I hope you get a good number of good interns because yes, the particularly Jamaica's music industry does need structure, does need systems and so on. And starting with this new generation, next generation, hopefully we can see even more expanse and more more of it being solidified, more infrastructure being in place. Good. Synchronizers, you are tuned into Synergy with Andrea John Baptiste. And today's our first guest today, a Campionite, right, is Francine Bacchus of Bacchus Entertainment. And so Francine, as our time winds down, please tell folks how they can stay connected and follow, and learn also from and with Bacchus Entertainment.
Okay, well, to personally contact me, they can email me at Bacchus, which is BAWC, so BACCHUS, entertainment services @gmail.com. I'm on IG, Bacchus Entertainment, Facebook, Bacchus Entertainment, or my personal page, Francine Bacchus. So BACCHUS, and you'll find me.
BACCHUS Entertainment, y'all. Well, Francine, thank you so much for the great wisdom and insights that you have shared with us today. Wishing you many, many, many blessings, and always big up to your artist, Jadon, and to the whole Bacchus Entertainment camp, the interns that whether they're on board now or they soon come. Much success to you, sister. Much success.
Giving thanks, Andrea. Likewise.
Every time. Synchronizers, stick and stay. We have got another amazing guest coming right up here on Synergy with Andrea John Baptiste. Feel free to follow us online at Live with Synergy.
For the past 12 years, Axum Management Capabilities, Inc. has helped individuals, businesses, and municipalities move from capability to actuality. Our team of experienced business developers will help you to start and grow your business. Let us help you create your business or strategic plan. We'll create with you a responsive marketing campaign that gets you results. How about a new look or brand makeover? Need a grant written for your nonprofit? How about a corporate event planned? Well, visit Axum HQ or call 954-742-9166 to get moving from capability to actuality. Axum Management Capabilities, your full-scale development firm serving the U.S., Caribbean, and Africa. Catch us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Axum HQ.
You're listening to Synergy Radio on WDJY 99.1 FM, where music, business, and culture synchronize.
Welcome back, Synchronizers. Did I not tell you we had a wealth of information for you today on some of the behind the scenes stuff that goes on in the industry, from industry leaders, from movers and shakers, from doers, from knowers, right? And this second part of our today's show is no different from the first. What am I telling you? Every week I tell you we have a good show in store, and every week I believe I produce and tell you no lies, right? So with no further ado, this is my brethren from 19 how long, bona fide brethren, y'all. Know him from is a little boy. Him know me from he was a young girl. So you can tell how long that has been, okay? And another Campionite in the house. So for those of you who are not from Jamaica, don't know anything about Campion, don't worry about it. It's all good. But from those of you who are from Jamaica, you know Campion goes strong. Yes, and so both guests today and your host, our Campionites, former Campionites, and we're proud, right? We had some good things happen at school and maybe not some great things, but Campion, strong and proud. And so this Campionite, my bona fide brethren from 19 how long, you may know him as Pusha Youth or as Vivian Thomas or as both, right? But today we have with us none other than the infamous, famous, well-known Jamaican celebrity handler, brand manager, public relations, sound producer, audio engineer, and enough more. None other than Vivian Thomas of Push a Youth. Greetings, greetings, Vivian.
Greetings to everybody, because boy, the intro them, I don't know if I need a CV with an intro there. I'm happy to be here on Synergy. You know what? It's been a while. I don't really do a lot of interviews, so so you will get the straight family interview, the inside, the all around one, because I take some time out, and you know what? I'm going to follow your advice. I do owe the world and the youth them coming up really tell them some of the time really how this thing works by really, stepping out there, going out on a limb. So give thanks for this opportunity. So we'll make this thing happen, Big up everybody.
That sounds wonderful. And Vivian, yes. So synchronizers, you're going to hear how much wealth of information and why this man needs to be teaching and having reasonings consistently with the younger folks, particularly, or not even the younger folks, but the ones that are trying to get into the industry, because enough things him know, enough people him know, enough connections him have, enough talents him have. So Vivian, first of all, what is Push a Youth? And why that name, Push a Youth?
Well, first and first, I would think Push a Youth is kind of self-explanatory, because the whole aim was to push the youth, start from the ground up, literally grassroots, not middle way when everybody wants to jump on the thing when it's hot. We wanted to actually curate and teach, show them, guide them. It doesn't matter. Anybody basically in entertainment that has an IP that they want to turn into a reality. Everybody, the whole of this entertainment thing is like, it's all start like a dream. Then everybody wants the dream to be a reality, but not everybody knows the steps. Not everybody knows what's publishing, what's syncing, what's wait, you mean my studio time different from that? Yeah, man, it's so many different tentacles, angles, levels that you're overwhelmed if you're fairly a young actor or a young artist or just anybody in general who just, they have a talent but they want to show the world. They actually 99.9% of the time don't know how to do it, don't know where they're going, don't know the direction, And I'd like to think that's where Push a Youth has become a hub over the years for incubating a lot of those type of talents, whether you're an author, singer, writer, DJ, I don't care. As long as you have some positive to bring to the table and you also want to change, I wouldn't say change as in, because nothing is constant, everything is change. So from you want to change for the better, yeah, man, we're with you there. We're with you 110% there. So that's basically what Push a Youth is about, upper management, consultations, productions, A&R, all of those above things that come with the industry itself.
So let
like a one-stop shop.
So I love the name. And yes, it makes perfect sense. So now you just mentioned one-stop shop and you mentioned your services, and I want to just eke out a little bit of what each offering kind of means, right? So management, what does that mean in terms of artist management from a Push a Youth perspective?
Presently, I manage 3 acts, right? And I also manage a sound system, which is, again, Entertainment is based upon personalities and characters. So let's first identify these things. So I'm probably going to go off on a little bit on a tangent, but please forgive me here. Entertainment is based upon personalities and characters. And if you're going to manage personalities and characters, please identify the avenues and lanes that these characters and personalities intend to occupy. That's one of the first stages of management. You can promise, I see people promise people the world. Please don't do that. Identify the talent, identify the lane, the medium, the direction the talent and yourself would like to go and what you see in that scope. We as Pusher Youth, we tailor each situation to each individual versus the whole cliche of, yo, yeah, management will spend some money and everybody will go bust. I don't even know the meaning of that. I don't have a clue what that means. So typically we put an infrastructure to the act. As I said, whether you're a sculptor, singer, poet, DJ, we put structure and infrastructure to a talent that just probably just needed some guidance.
Wow. So that speaks to the management aspects. And I love to hear that. Yeah, go spend some money and then we all boss, because so I do some artist management. My dad, as you know, does artist management, and we reason around that line, which we don't understand all the time because it's such a thought process and mentality. But consultation. So talk to us about what does that mean in terms of music business consultation?
All right. And again, maybe polite and not rude. A lot of acts come and go, yo, music, my thing there. Really? Music consists of crotchets, notes, semicolon, and I'm sure we're not going to have that language talk right now. So what tends to happen is they identify themselves with something they are passionate about. They probably don't have all the skill set to be the best singer, best DJ, best actress. But now, within that consultation that you're then able to identify strengths and weaknesses. So then at least you know where to start. People again tend to do this, throw money at things when you don't know what are you throwing it into, what are you developing. And because A&R has been kind of somewhat removed from the whole general industry, in a sense, a lot of acts are not being A&R'd. And we, during my consultation, as tedious as this might sound to a lot of people, actually start A&R and the artist or the actor right there and there.
Pause right there, because you're talking to folks as if they know what A&R is. So first of all, tell them what is A&R, because I A&R the artist right then and there during consultation. What that mean?
Okay, so it's a French word which means artist repertoire, artist and repertoire. And I think in English we always use reputation, repertoire. So really now when you start to ask somebody, your brand is based upon your repertoire, your reputation. What makes up this brand? What are you about? What you sing, what you do, what makes up the character that we're going to now invest time, equity, and finances in. So we, as a company and as a manager myself, it's imperative that before we start taking anyone's money, whether it's my money, the client's money, throwing it around into different areas, let us identify weaknesses and strengths. So let us immediately go back to that word of A&R in the situation, seeing what's best for each party involved moving forward versus assuming, oh, nah man, she brown, so she will fit in category X. It doesn't work that way. And we're in an industry which tends to do that a lot, and what tends to happen is when people can't understand why it's only a 5% ratio that wins, period, or makes it through the door, they go, then why can the talent pool be that high but the numeric be that low? And you go, some of it we as a people, culture, human beings in general, some of it we are to blame. We create and we destroy. So we have to know what exactly we want to fulfill and last over a period of time, so that way the actor, whomever it is, can actually have a career. So people also need to remember, my income is now based upon that person also having a career. So no career, I have no income. So it's my best interest to make sure that person's situation, career, and everything about them is moving in a forward direction. That's really what I say in our consulting.
So then does that mean that you are selective in the ones that you work with, or if somebody comes with what does it take? Because that makes perfect sense. If they're not making money as the artist manager, as part of the team, you're not making money typically. So what do you want to see from ones that come to you before you choose to represent them? Because it sounds like if they have money, great, yeah, but enough other things are in that equation for me to make the determination.
Many occasions where I've refused money. So it's clearly, obviously, not just an income-based situation. And this is something I'm going to make very clear on air for anybody who, there's a jewel for anybody who don't understand life in general, not just the music industry. It's just like sports, which is entertainment. And just to go off on a tangent a bit, I played sports when I was a youth and teenage, and I learned this early. Players win, coaches lose, managers lose. And I was like, could never quite wrap my head around it, because I'm like, we're on the field. He's on the sideline. How the hell does he lose when it's not his job to score? So I learned very early that the person behind the scenes gets all the flack. It don't matter. So think about management, something like that. It doesn't matter whether or not the artist croaked on the stage. Management, it doesn't matter whether or not the artist had a bad hair day. Management. So unfortunately, these are the terms and conditions which you have to now allow yourself to live within, so that when you take on certain type of roles, you understand that it's a two-way street. They'll cheer for you when they're winning, and they'll certainly boo you when you're losing. So you can't live with the double edge of the sword. Do not do this job.
Oh boy, and that sword sure does cut both ways. Yes, yes, yes. That is, that's more than a gem. I don't even know. That's a big rock of good information, because that is the reality of the industry, and that's the reality of the experiences, my friend.
Like, so you always want to keep firing the manager and they never get rid of the players. Like, huh?
Yep. Absolutely. So, you've shared some nice industry insights with us so far, right? You've talked to us about what management entails. You've talked to us about consultation. You've talked to us about A&R, artists and repertoire that, folks may not be familiar with. You've talked to us about coaching and all of that. What would you say has been your greatest success so far, Vivian?
My greatest success. And you know what? It depends on how you define success, because I don't want to use finances as success. I could go, right now I look around the industry and I see 10 youth right now that I could literally say, yo, you know what? I had an impact in 10 of these acts' life, and I feel damn good about it. Like, I look around and I go, wow, oh, didn't I used to teach you? So you're doing coffee stuff now. Brilliant. Oh, I look around now and I go, okay, 2 more of my students on the come up. UIM, household name, started at Campion. Cheers, Campion. I'm a lot prouder, I should say, if that's a word. I'm a lot more proud of the people I've seen win, because we've committed time and effort to things that some people would go, nah, that will never work. Nah, you should be a lawyer, or nah, I've I've been lucky, fortunate, blessed in so many ways to prove so many naysayers wrong that I think that's where I look at my achievements, quote unquote. And let me give a shout out to your father, who actually helped in so many different ways to kind of lodge it in my little young head at the time that you have such a piece of magic that you don't even know how great you are. Because Mr. Mark Dowell, who literally single-handedly took up the whole of Full Sail University, carried upon him shoulder, come to Jamaica, come educate people like myself and gang at the time, gang engineer, them time the junior gang young. So I've been fortunate to be around people that remind me that I can be great. So I only think it's kind of right for pass it on in a weird kind of way, if that makes sense. And with that, I feel the win versus, because it sounds awkward to say, yo, if Dan are the father and me are the son, then them youth are grandpicking, rocket. It has that weird kind of feeling because, again, let me be fair, and it's nothing to brag about. I'm very, very proud of him. Look at Dane Ray, who now produces for coffee. Nobody was talking about Dane Ray a decade ago. I was there assisting a Dane Ray, helping him to find his way. And everybody's like, yeah, but Dane should go to live here in some Cali and go and do this. And they was like, nah, I want to study this music thing. And now look at it. He's at the top of his game. Coffee's at the top of her game. And I'm proud to go, well
Absolutely.
done. And those are the things that kind of make me get more googles or goosebumps. And I don't really do interviews, but I know this industry is so ego driven, but I actually feel better if like Dane and them go, yo, yeah man, them man are the instrumental versus me I run on the place, I go, you see, I told you. Not my MO. So but I
Wow.
love that part type more.
And humility. And I thank you for giving Mr. McDowell his flowers while he's around. Yeah, he's probably more than likely listening. So Don Daddy, big shout out. You know, we shout out every time we can, whenever we can, wherever you are, because sitting here today doing this interview with Vivian Thomas of Pusher Youth and your daughter, Andrea McDowell John Baptiste of Synergy, the two of we can say how much influence you've had and how much respect.
People don't even know on the low how much Dan played a part in a even just my career. I want to go 30 seconds and run a quick story, but nobody knew this. I had Portmore Empire early. Deborah Bratt and the company early. I bring Deborah's thing them to Dan, and I know Dan not listen to Deborah. And Dan hear it and go, you get him to do this? Yo, he's bad. Yo, you can't. I was like, Dan McDowell kicked Portmore Empire before half the world knew who Portmore Empire was. I could tell anybody that. Playing him early Deborah Bratt before this whole thing became the empire that everybody's running around with. So when people hear Cartel say words like Deborah Bratt lead out Portmore Empire, it wasn't a fluke in words, it's the truth. So just to say that even Dan had an influence in that, most Jamaican would have gone, Vivian, tap your mouth, yes! Because if Dan did say Vivian, man, I like it. You know it I got garbage, that delete. So it just goes to show I forgive governance to the ones them who actually say, yo, you know what? You can do this. This is possible. And I believe say if you say if a rose is you want to call it, I don't know what to call it in this era. Because I'm in a take it back era that I realize I'm not gonna join the era that we don't know. Yeah, when a man great, him just great.
Great. I agree. So let me ask you this because our time is winding down, Vivian. So much information. Is COVID the biggest challenge you've experienced so far in the industry?
Yes and no.
How so?
Um, my culture has been one of my biggest challenge in this industry versus the actual pandemic. Um, Again, without going off on a tangent, the whole colonial mentality affected how music is seen, bought, done, and respected in the Jamaican culture and diaspora. COVID highlighted, and if you want to go to good and bad of COVID versus the whole scenario versus the Bounty Killer Beanie Man scenario. If 8 million views wasn't enough of a hello, then I don't think the world is really that slow. So it's clear that we have impacted the world. And again, the numbers, if you want to go corporate with it, the numbers show that. So I would like to think that the pandemic opened the eyes to a lot of people who would have nonchalantly thought it's, oh yeah man, I just look at reggae and dancehall music. It not really work that way there. But apart from the biggest challenge, I say now it's the culture, because now that we have identified that you're a major player, it's time to start acting like it and putting in the structures to show that you are. So that's my
Prom. That is such a challenge to the Jamaican music industry. And so you have certainly highlighted something that I know many ones are working towards improving and putting systems in place, because it is absolutely necessary. You're tuned into Synergy on 99.1 as well as islandworldwide.com. And we are speaking with Pusha Youth. Well, no, we're speaking with Vivian Thomas of Pusha Youth. And so, Vivian, as our time winds down, what's next from Pusha Youth, and how do folks stay connected? They're looking for some management, they're looking for consultation, they're looking for A&R. How do they connect with you, and what
All right,
can they connect?
Well, I'm on the gram as V_Pusha Youth, but there's also at Pusha Youth Inc. on Instagram, Pusha Youth Inc. on Facebook. I just kind of put the website in repairs over the last 2 days too as well, so I wasn't even planned for that. But details are all there. P.A.Y productions at Gmail. The future for Pusha Youth, continue doing what we're doing. We just released Pepper EP last year. We released Papa Jack EP last year as well. Last week, we had a spoken word EP come out from Simone Fucci Duo. We have PAY Presents the EP on its way. I've got about 2 more albums in the pipeline. So there's a lot of work coming out from Pusha Youth, and the acts are really doing their part. As I said, Simone has books on the way. Pepper has a couple new singles on the way. Oh Lord. And I have a compilation now I'm working with the likes of like Royal Blue and all of these young acts, Indie Allen and them, Yeza and them. So I have some things coming through the pipeline, so look out for it. I'm very happy where we're going, and I'm very happy that Father God has got me to be this far and content with doing what I'm doing. So
that is a beautiful thing. Yes, to be content in what you're doing. Yes, that is Vivian Thomas of Pusha Youth. And he just mentioned Simone Fruit Tree Duar as well as Mr. Pepper or Pepper. And for those of you who stick and stay with us every week, you know they've been guests on this show before. Certainly follow us on Facebook and you can see clips of their performance or their interviews. And it's just a blessing. Good works from good people doing great things right here on Synergy on 99.1 FM. This is Andrea John Baptiste, and I am saying until next time, live in synergy, and follow us on social media at Live with Synergy. Blessings, palm blessings, palm blessings. Vivian, we thank you and come again.
Blessings to the whole Synergy team, family. Big up the whole Atlanta, USA, Africa, Jamaica. You know how my thing go already. We're global. Big up everywhere. Mad it on earth where I give thanks and I try every day to make the thing better.
That's our time. That's our chat. Now it's time to call it a wrap. Tune in next week at 5 for another edition of Synergy Live, where music, business, and culture synchronize. This is your girl, Andrea John Baptiste. Follow me, follow us on Live with Synergy on Instagram and Twitter. Synergy is a production of Axum Management Capabilities, produced by JT the Believer.